Hello, everyone. Oh dear, I appear to be capturing multiple sources at once that I don't want to. Alright, you should be good. Yeah, that was a little weird. I saw like three capture sources for audio go off at once and I freaked out. I was like, oh no, wait, there's only supposed to be two.
Anyways,
Yeah. So today's topic is gonna be just generally we're gonna be discussing badasses in video games.
the first.
Like yeah, so first things
I
first.
have Coca-Cola.
Oh, yep. We have Coca Cola and hot cocoa. I did actually just rename the channel today, as of recording today. To hot cocoa, or no, it was yesterday, wasn't it? I
To
think it was
what?
yesterday to Hot Cocoa Gaming. Now it's no longer iPad Gamer 23 because I don't do iPad games anymore, and I think the name has kind of stuck around long enough. But either way, Um, so today we're just going to be talking about general badasses in video games. So we're gonna open up with.
Isabelle from Animal Crossing.
Uh, I mean, she hasn't been kneecapped by Tom Nook yet, but she has been banished to the lighthouse. So I don't know. That one's up for debate. I was gonna say we start with the one that everyone's gonna say, oh, where's this? Where's this? If we don't start with him, the Doomslayer. Like, I mean, real talk. Who else do you start with other than like not only the man who literally hell itself is afraid of, but the man who also basically created the first-person shooter genre as we know it.
I mean, we can always put like Master Chief in a number two spot after him.
Yeah, Master Chief definitely feels like the natural. Well, no, first we had Doom. Pretty much for the progression of FPSs is Doom, then the build engine games, so Duke Nukem Shadow Warrior and what's it called? And Blood. And those games are like also considered significantly important because they were more 3D than Doom. They had vertical aiming, which Doom originally did not. Um, they could have rooms on top of rooms and maps that technically weren't there but were hidden with clever, very well disguised, very quick teleports.
They helped add on to the shooter
Yeah, like
franchise and build.
shooter. Like I'm just kind of going through the history of how shooters got to the point they are at today. And then in between there somewhere you have like Rise of the Triad because Rise of the Triad did a lot of really funky 3D shit with the Doom engine. Um, and then after that you get like Quake, and that Quake is where like true 3D shooters started, which eventually Halo would damn near perfect. Like Halo 2 and Halo 3 damn near perfect 3D shooters, 3D
They're kind
military
of
shooters.
they're
Uh,
kind of the reason why it got so popular too, ain't it?
Call of Duty
Like,
definitely helped. Doom is arguably the most important first-person shooter of all time. Um, Honestly, every
considering the
time
most
id puts out a game, usually the rest of the gaming industry looks to it as like, well, this is the fucking standard now. Because if people don't know, it doesn't just make like crazy, insane, violent games. It has a history of pushing out technical marvels of
Give
video
me a moment.
game wizardry. It's okay, I can talk for a little bit. So it has this history of putting out absolute technical marvels of video game wizardry. In terms of like Doom 3D, looked years ahead of its time. Or Doom 3, my bad. Looked years ahead of its time, and yeah, I'm just explaining how Doom or id has consistently been pushing the boundaries of what video games or what first person shooters specifically should be. Oh, he's not here yet. But yeah, so they're consistently pushing that boundary, and Doom Eternal, just recently having come out, is a fantastic example of their technological wizardry. Even though they lost John Carmack before Doom 2016, and John Carmack is kind of a technological ultra. John Carmack is the final boss of nerds. All right, like if you were to fight every single nerd in the world, your final battle would be like Doom 2 deathmatch against John Carmack. Um, but yeah, so John Carmack and John Romero, two of the most influential people in first-person gaming, and actually John Romero just recently played Doom Eternal, so that's pretty neat. Dude, mad respect for that dude for the things he's done and the things id Software have done. Like nothing but the highest respect for id Software. To continue to put out quality games like Doom Eternal, even after being bought out by Bethesda and ZeniMax, honestly, astounding work on their end. Like, really talented people. Yeah, sorry, I just spent the last minute and a half sucking id's dick.
No. I was here listening to it. I was just trying to take my microphone because I was picking up my earphones.
Alright. But yeah, so John Carmack, I don't know if you know this, but John Carmack basically invented 3D video gaming. Because like the first game to be like truly 3D in terms of like a first-person shooter is Quake 1.
Quake.
Which like still to this day is like an astonishing game to have come out at the time it did, running on the hardware it did. Because John Carmack is like an absolute madman who figured out how to render real-time shadows on the original Xbox.
God damn.
Because he's fucking insane.
Wasn't the original Xbox like nowadays considered like kind of a potato?
It was stronger than anything else on the market at the time. It was better than the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. But yeah, that like Doom 3, you look at Doom 3, did you know Doom 3 wasn't on the Xbox 360, it was on the original Xbox?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it looks like that. It looks that damn good. John Carmack is an insane person.
Mad lad.
Yeah, like so the shock you're experiencing right now, imagine that but like manifolded because Quake like changed what first person shooters would be for like forever. It also gave us the rocket jump. And Half-Life 1 ran on a heavily modified version of the Quake engine. So like everything John Carmack touches just becomes revolutionary. He invented the Oculus Rift. So the dude's actually just like anything the man touches turns into a technological marvel. I don't know where my. Let me turn.
Let me just revolutionize gaming
again.
Again.
Yeah, really. Like John Carmack's that important, but anyway. So Doomslayer, first badass of video gaming. Like, I'm gonna nominate him as being badass numero uno, from which all other badass stems from. Then Master Chief definitely up there.
Just due to iconic.
Yeah, just due to status and sheer body count.
Yeah, because like after Doom, like most people know who the Halo guy is. Like,
yeah, like Halo.
It'd be hard to find someone who doesn't know it.
Yeah,
like,
it's really weird to think about.
If you have internet access, you've come across him at least once somewhere.
Yeah, just I think part of the reason. Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, he was on my Pop-Tart box once.
Yeah, I think the reason Master Chief is so well known though, and we talked about this before, is just because his design is simple, effective, and awesome. It's like Ryu from Street Fighter. The reason why everyone sees him once and is like, "Oh, that guy's cool," it's because his design is simple and effective.
It's one reason why Sonic the Hedgehog got so popular.
Yeah, no, Sonic the Hedgehog was also, his design was an accident. So
Yeah, like
dude spilled blue paint and was like, "Yo, wait a minute."
it's just a circle with 3 triangles and some ears. Like,
Yep.
dude, you cannot get any simpler.
Yeah, and then the shoes. It's one thing to say where Sonic and Mario have transcended video game iconicness because articles of their clothing are arguably as iconic as they are, where Sonic's shoes and Mario's hat are as iconic as they are.
Just like they're like I still don't understand how a middle-aged man became like such an iconic.
It's because the Mario games were just like that. They're just that good.
They are like
Like, also, let us not forget, people love to shit on Nintendo these days. The only reason the video game industry exists in the capacity it does today is
because
probably because Nintendo saved that shit after the video game crash.
Nintendo was 90% of gaming industry at one point. Like,
Yeah, it's like that's why Nintendo's like off doing its own thing. It's like, yeah, we'll survive. People will buy it,
Like-
whatever.
like Nintendo's worth. You guys gotta know that Nintendo's worth billions upon billions of
Like
dollars.
just the
from
Mario IP alone. Yeah. And did you know Nintendo doesn't actually own Pokemon?
That belongs to Game Freak, right?
It belongs to the Pokemon Company, which is owned 2/3 by Game Freak and 1/3 by Nintendo. There is actually a Pokemon game on a Sega system.
Nani the fuck?
Yeah, it was an edutainment game.
That makes sense.
Wasn't a mainline game or anything, but it was based on the Pokemon anime. But yeah. So
Which,
like,
as everyone knows, is like the inferior version of the Pokemon manga.
yeah. Oh, dude, Pokemon Adventures is the real shit.
Read Pokemon manga if you want to experience real Pokemon,
Yeah, Pokemon Adventures is fantastic.
and you get to see Pokemon fucking die.
Yep. Ooh, man, I'm still pretty loud. I'm peaking pretty high. Alright, let's try this. This should be good. But, yeah, so... alright, so Master Chief and Doom Guy are like... And I guess we'll throw Mario and Sonic up there, just because, like, again, iconic status, like... And, again, they have, like, insane body counts.
And if you can survive having your reputation destroyed and trashed like Sonic has, man, you deserve.
Listen. Sonic deserves to be a badass just for the fact that he is the best video game movie to ever be released. The state of this franchise.
It's held together by flex. Dude.
It's held together by a few pieces of Scotch tape.
And
all right, it's held together on Sonic's design and a couple of pieces of Scotch tape alone. Because Sonic 2 was such a good fucking game, it guaranteed the series sales forever.
It's still a popular game that's reaching sales, ain't it?
Sonic 2, it gets re-released on things now and again.
And Sonic Mania is that
Sonic
one piece
Mania,
of really,
oh.
really firm Scotch tape.
Yeah, like, Sonic's had a couple of good games come out recently, but I don't know. Like, at this point, like,
Even the
Sonic Forces
games get
could have been a
affected
much better game, but then
if there was
then
more
you
time to it.
no.
And
No, because there
there's
was
other
like
things
2.5 years put into Sonic Forces. Because what people don't understand is that's what the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games serve the purpose of. Because Sega has a thing where we have to put Sonic in one game every year, but if we just do so the way that they work around it is they do a Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games because there's an Olympics every 2 years. And then that allows the actual Sonic game to have an additional year in development. Even though apparently the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 was like a banger of a game. It was like apparently super, super good. And it was also like...
that's where all the good stuff of the Forces went to.
Well, no, because it came out after... That game came out 3 years after Forces. What? 2 years. 2 years. Came out in 2019. Because if it came out this year, it would be titled Tokyo 2021. Yeah, apparently that
So
game
we
was
got-
absolute banger.
So we got Doom Guy, Master Chief, Sonic and Mario.
Yep.
Uh,
All right. Now, hear me out. I don't want to include all of the Build Engine game characters because they're all just kind of Duke Nukem with a different coat of paint. But have you ever heard of the game Blood?
nope.
Okay.
Wait. Is that no? I don't think so.
It is a shooter game from like the 1990s, and it is kick you in the dick 14 times on the first level hard.
Oof.
Like the old shooters do not fuck around. Shadow Warrior is free on Steam. The original version of Shadow Warrior. It's free on Steam, runs perfectly fine. I'm pretty sure that your laptop or your PC could run it. The game came out in like 1997.
I mean, it can almost run Minecraft.
Listen, if your computer can boot Minecraft, it can run Shadow Warrior 1997.
The one game, and it still surprises me to this day, the one game it could run at 60 FPS with okay quality was Borderlands.
What?
It was. I shit you not. I played that on back when I had my potato internet,
What?
and my computer was in an even worse state. I played Borderlands, modded Borderlands at that as well.
Wow.
Online with a buddy of mine that I don't talk to, and it ran perfectly smooth and fine to the point where I was all like, "Yeah, I've beaten this game to death already. I just remove it, blah blah blah." And I shit you not, the only game it's ever run good is Borderlands 2, and I marvel at that to this day.
Well, to be fair, unless you're in combat, Borderlands doesn't have too much on screen at once.
No, I'm talking about even during combat. Like,
that's really weird.
For anyone who doesn't know, my computer can't even handle a Microsoft Paint full canvas.
Yeah, no, his computer's kind of potato.
No, I at this point I think a potato can run Doom better than my computer could.
Hey, don't that is not true. Because you'd need to wire a potato up to some other things to get it to run Doom. Also, Doom was like, I don't think you can like. Listen, I don't think you understand the sheer capacity of Doom to run on shit it should not run on.
Listen, you only need 6 buttons, a screen, and a wire to power that screen to be able to play Potato Doom.
Pretty much. No, you need at least a number pad, I think, because Doom has like 10 weapons. Because it has it has all, like, you need to be able to select weapons. So, but yeah, like, anyway.
No shit, a potato could run Doom better than my computer could.
I don't believe that.
I am that unbelieving of my computer.
I mean, go ahead, man. Try it. You can download Doom for free. The source code was released 20 years ago.
Here, can I play Doom on a computer?
Yeah, you probably could, because the source code was released 20 years ago. The game's like 20 megabytes.
Let's see.
Like, I think GZ Doom is the most commonly used one. But yeah, no, your computer can definitely run Doom at full frames.
Let's find out. Let's see.
Oh, Jesus. Don't try downloading it during this, because your internet, your connection's gonna like shit out on you.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but no, I guarantee you, your computer can run Doom. Like, trust me, if a flip phone, listen, if someone can force Doom to run on the Apple MacBook taskbar, like that little touch bar that the MacBooks have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that can run Doom at full frames. So I think your computer can run Doom at full frames. That shit
Let's
ran
see.
on
I'm booting it up.
1990s hardware in software rendering mode. That shit ran on DOS.
Well, I found a way that you can play it online on the computer. It's gonna take a bit to load up, but that's
You
fine.
could load the whole fucking game into your RAM, I guarantee. Like Animal Crossing, because do you know why there's no load times in original Animal Crossing on the GameCube?
No.
Because it's a port of a Nintendo 64 game from Japan. The entire game runs off of the RAM of the GameCube. So you could take the disc out and the game won't even notice.
Oh shit! I muted you.
Yep, there you go. There's Doom. It's running, right?
Oh, oh God! What is this? Oh God, no! Like, what is? What was? Oh, okay, it's just load. I thought my computer was just potatoing, but it was just a load screen.
Yeah. Oh, did it do that thing where the screen falls down?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how Doom loads.
choose skill level. Well, I'm new to this, so we're going nightmare.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Don't actually do that. That is the worst thing you could do.
No, fuck you. I'm playing it on nightmare.
Nightmare. The enemies constantly respawn.
Oh, this. Oh, computer, what are you doing?
I do not believe that your computer is not running Doom in full frames.
It is trying its hardest.
Well, it's probably because you're playing it off of a browser. And you're playing it off of your internet connection at that point. If you downloaded Doom as like off of a source port or whatever, you'd probably get full frames.
It is potatoing.
Yeah, because your internet's potato and you're playing it on the internet. No shit.
Let's just stop.
Yeah, alright. Anyway, we got more characters to cover, I think.
Let's see, who else is hella iconic?
Well,
Considered
not necessarily iconic. You don't have to be iconic to be a badass. Like, I wouldn't consider what I was gonna say is the character Caleb from Blood. And let me explain my choice. And I'm not gonna pick Duke Nukem, and I'm not gonna pick Lo Wang from Shadow Warrior. Duke Nukem doesn't make this list because Blood because if a guy who's been playing Blood for 20 years and Shadow Warrior for 20 years says Blood's easiest skill is as hard as Shadow Warrior's hardest skill, I am inclined to believe that Blood is not meant to be played, but more meant to be used as a torture device. But the Caleb from Blood is an immortal madman gunslinger who becomes more powerful with everything he kills.
Wait, I know who to put in number 3 on our list.
Who?
Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Like
real Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
no offense, DMC Devil May Cry was
fun,
like
it's a fun game.
It had its things going for it, but it would have been better if they just didn't slap Devil May Cry on the front.
Like if that game was just called Dorito Man's Great Adventure, like I'm sure it would have flown off shelves like God.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sold. From what I remember, it sold well.
Like no, I played the game. It's actually it's like a really fun game.
There's problems with it.
It takes every chance it can to shit on actual Devil May Cry.
Yeah, which is everyone else's problem with it because actual DMC is fucking amazing.
Like if that
except DMC 2, we don't talk about that. So you know what? Ninja Theory didn't make the worst Devil May Cry. Capcom did. Because Devil May Cry 2 is not Devil May Cry. Like, oh my god, that is a on rails shooter.
If DMC were its own standalone IP under a different name, then
it would have been great.
It would have been like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, people would have been like, yeah, this is pretty good. It's got some Devil May Cry influences. But my only problem with it is the colored enemies kind of like ruin the flow of the gameplay. Cause it shits on Devil May Cry. Yeah, like you don't shit on DMC. Like, yeah, sure, DMC4 wasn't that great because it was rushed, but eh. You don't shit
But
on the
like,
thing you're taking your name from.
and the thing is, like, it is a good game. Like, it was a fun game, but like,
It wasn't a great game, but it was a decent game. Because it had its design flaws, although its aesthetic was fucking great. Like,
yeah.
the level design was like really wild, and I actually thought it was super cool. I didn't like the colored weapon thing though. I did not like that at all.
I thought it was okay.
That's what killed the game for me because, like, there's the enemies where it's like, oh, we'll throw a red and a blue enemy at you, and then they'll stand right fucking next to each other, and then you're just like, ah, well, shit. Guns it is. Let me just bring out my red weapon and try to lure the red enemy away, and the blue enemy's attacking me now. Ah, fuck.
It didn't. It had its flaws.
Yeah, I think it just would have been a lot better if they just took that out and made the enemies a little harder, instead of just artificially increasing the difficulty of a combat encounter by throwing a bunch of enemies that can only be hurt by certain weapons in.
One of the main characters wore a trench coat and fedora and had a katana.
No, because in the re-release
They
on
had
current
to
gen,
remove the
yeah,
fedora.
they moved the fedora and some of the lines.
And it's still in the cutscenes.
Yep. No, they removed it from the cutscenes.
Credit cutscenes. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
You know how they have like the floating credits. And
Yeah.
Just, like, little, yeah, he still has the fedora.
That might be pre-rendered, and I think they can't change it. But yeah. So Dante from Devil May Cry, Sonic, Mario, Doom Guy, Master Chief. Those are our characters so far. I'm gonna and Caleb from Blood, because I don't think you understand. The end of this dude's first game, he straight up kills the god who gave him his powers. He goes full Spawn on this motherfucker.
I know another person to add on to it.
Who?
To the list. Kratos.
Ooh, yep. Kratos makes the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd be hard pressed not to.
Like, do we need to explain why Kratos makes the list? I think we could just say Kratos makes the list and move on, like how we said Doom Guy makes the list, and then just talked about why Doom is so good. Like, and I don't even necessarily like the gameplay of the first, like, of God of War up until God of War 4, because it was just diet DMC up until the newest one.
The newest one's like
It is like Last of Us ish.
Like the cinematics.
Yeah.
The
the cinematics are beautiful.
For the game, the 3D artwork for it, like, were so good.
Well, I'd fucking hope so after an entire goddamn console generation.
Yeah, but like to the point where the art is so good that you can just transition from cutscene to
no, that's because the cutscenes are all in engine.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah, so it's not like they're loading in a cutscene. It's that it's scripted for the character models to move in certain ways on certain parts of the map. Yeah.
The fact that it looks that good to the point where you don't even need to add your own anime-esque cutscene.
Yeah.
How some older games, like older games, had like their potato 3D model characters. Yep. Roaming around, then hit a certain area, and then they have to go full on anime with animations.
Yeah. Looking at you, King of Fighters.
I was looking at
Final Fantasy's always been alright.
Yeah.
They just kind of do whatever's the style at the time. Final Fantasy 15, man. Did you see what that game looked like before they nerfed the graphics?
Buddy, I don't even know how many Final Fantasy games there are. Like,
24.
I've heard of Final Fantasy in so many different contexts that I don't even. If I ever wanted to get into Final Fantasy, like, I don't think I'd be able to, simply because I'd have to go to Final Fantasy 1.
No. See, here's the thing. Almost no Final Fantasy is a direct sequel. I think Final Fantasy 2 is a direct sequel to 1, but that's a very rare case. So most Final Fantasies are just their own self-contained story. So you can just pick up wherever you want.
You see, but I can't do things like that. I have to start from the beginning to end.
Don't do that. Because you will have to learn like 6 or 7 different battle systems.
It's fine.
No, don't because they're Final Fantasy like specifically the PS3 era was not kind to Final Fantasy. It was not kind. Final Fantasy 13 was about all that we got for the PS3 Xbox 360 era, and to this day I don't know why those games had mini maps. These games had mini maps, but there was if you've ever seen the JonTron video, Final Hallway 13, that's a very
I have not.
oh my god. So it's criticizing Final Fantasy 13 for just being hold forward and run to next battle the game, which it very much is. It's super linear. Which you think, well, that's fine, but then you realize, oh wait, Final Fantasy 1 had an open world. Oh no.
Okay, so our list consists of Doomguy, Master Chief, Dante, Kratos, Sonic, and Mario.
Do we add Cloud Strife?
Hmm.
If we're talking about Final Fantasy, do we add Cloud Strife?
If we're questioning it this much, do you think we should?
Well, no, I think there's debating room because on one hand, that sword though,
That sword, though.
but on the
that
other
sword's very
hand,
iconic.
Final Fantasy VII Advent Children was a thing, where Cloud basically is a pussy for like 80% of the movie, and then catches a glimpse of Sephiroth and just roid rages out for the last like 3 minutes.
Well, I mean, if that's just the only bad thing we have against it, then I think we'd have to dox Sonic.
No, because Final Fantasy VII has a lot of games. There's Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus. The remake is apparently a different fucking game. You know what? I think we put Cloud Strife in there just for the fact that he has a dancing minigame in the remake.
Yeah, we're putting him there for the dance.
Yep. Yeah, and
Remake.
I want to put like Initial D music to it. Like I want to put the top to it. Because if you see the dance, you need to look it up after this. You'll see why I want to put the top to it. Because it's like Aerith is like, yeah, Cloud, go get on stage and dance, and Cloud just like out of nowhere busts out the full dance routine. It's just so good.
Okay, we're putting him there just because.
Just because he has a sick dancing scene, and he's also one of the first video game characters to ever just straight up dress up and drag.
I mean, Sonic did that too. So.
Yeah, but he did it. Yeah, but Cloud wore panties. If you played the game correctly, Cloud wore panties and seduced another man. So there's that.
All right.
Also, let's not forget that Cloud literally every time he sees Sephiroth, he goes like after Final Fantasy VII. Anytime Sephiroth is brought up, I love the idea that Cloud goes into a blind rage and Omni Slash is the first thing he sees. Just blind fucking rage.
well, there goes the sun.
It's like because in Advent Children, that's very much what happens. It's like Sephiroth gets resurrected. It's like, Cloud, it's been too long, and it's just Sephiroth. He just one hits Sephiroth, and Sephiroth just goes, well, shit.
See you in the next resurrection.
See you in the remake in 12 years.
I'll see you in a dozen years.
Yeah. So I think we put Cloud Strife on the list just because at the end of the day, the dude did like he is like the. Also, let's not forget that his voice lines are like limits are meant to be broken, followed up by summoning Knights of the Round. Like, oh man, I'm so pissed that they didn't give him Knights of the Round for his final Smash. I'm so fucking pissed. That would have been sick.
Don't you know? Smash is just there to appease Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did Omni Slash, seeing as it's Cloud's most powerful move, and technically anyone in the party can summon Knights of the Round, but Knights of the Round is sick. I love summons in Final Fantasy. It's one of my favorite mechanics. What else? Who else can we
What
add
about
to this list?
what about Bayonetta?
See, we already have Dante on this list, and
Yeah, but
Bayonetta is just Diet DMC. Like that's the thing again, is that Bayonetta is just Diet Devil May Cry. And trust me, as someone who has played both Bayonetta games, and DMC 5 is harder than anything Bayonetta has ever thrown at me. And it's
sure, but
also
we're
more fun.
We're also going on badass characters. More than
Yeah, but I don't want to like flood this thing with. I guess Bayonetta can make it. Yeah, so long as we agree that Dante's still cooler, because Dante has way more brutal games and a way bigger arsenal. Because let's be real here, the Bayonetta games are fantastic. I love Bayonetta as a character, but you gotta pay respect to where it all started, you know?
our boy Dante.
Yeah, because no matter what, Bayonetta, you can play lame and you can win it. But in Devil May Cry, you gotta keep it stylish.
They would not give triple SS at every
if you're not keeping it stylish, what are you actually doing? I'm one of those guys who wants Dante in Smash because like, oh, it's just gonna be Bayonetta again. Yeah, but you see, Bayonetta's combos were lame. Dante will keep it stylish. At least it'll look cool when I get zeroed to death from one blast zone to the other. Like, I don't care if that happens.
Who else goes on the list?
Let's see here. I don't want to put anyone from Call of Duty on this list just because they're so forgettable. The only character who could feasibly make the list is like Soap.
I don't want to add any more Nintendo IPs to this list just because. Well,
yeah,
Nintendo
because
has
well,
so much.
We'd be adding like Captain Falcon.
And like Link and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
Link was someone I wanted to throw on there. I would have said specifically Twilight Princess. But you know.
But there's like 15 different Links. And...
You know what? No, Hyrule Warriors Link.
Oh yeah, the one.
Yeah, the one that just runs around just destroying swaths of enemies, and the game makes fun of you for it later on. The game. Yeah, no, that game is like, yes, after Link got the Master Sword, he became too confident in his power. He would take on hundreds of enemies at once, and I was like, shit. Shit. Hyrule Warriors, fantastic game. But if we had to pick the most powerful, most badass Link, it would be Hyrule Warriors Link. Because he is all the Links.
Let's see. Minecraft Steve.
No. Just nah. Because that is entirely dependent on how you choose to play that game.
I mean, you can be like the omnipotent builder god.
Yeah, but like you could just be a farmer.
Yeah.
Like that's why, because I want to talk about no matter how you play the game, this character ends up doing some badass shit. Like I know that I've been talking a lot about Postal, but the Postal dude is a great example because no matter how you play that game, no matter how you play Postal, you will have killed literally thousands by the end of the 1 week in Paradise.
Just thousands dead.
Yeah, and that is a non-negotiable arrangement. You will have killed thousands.
While snorting thousands of pounds of crack cocaine.
Yeah. YouTuber I like, Civ11. Definitely go check him out. He reviews old games, and he has it under the premise that he's apparently some kind of horrific criminal whose like punishment is he has to review old games, and a lot of them are bad. And if he makes too many jokes that the administration doesn't like, they send him to one of several punishment rooms. And in one of the early videos, it's like, we have prepared the flaying chamber. And he's like, the flaying chamber? It's ridiculous. Just put a tarp down here. But yeah, he's what got me to finally buy Postal. He's actually in Postal 4. because the developers loved his shit so much, they put him in Postal 4 as a crack dealer. Because his what he said, all right, now step 1 to playing Postal, find crack. I fucking love Civ 11. Are you looking him up?
No, I'm trying to think of people to add on to the.
Oh man, with what 40 years now of video games to choose from. That there's a lot of characters that could make this list. Let's see. How about? Oh, dude, we didn't think of Scorpion?
Goddamn, we have.
How did we not think of like Scorpion or Sub-Zero? Those guys are both like amazing.
Like,
even if they are the same character with different colors.
Yeah, but the fact that the line "get over here."
Yeah, get over here. Like just the fact that they come from Mortal fucking Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yup. Yeah. So Scorpion and Sub-Zero will toss on the list. No matter how many we name, we're gonna miss some like real gems. And I think I've angered people already by saying we're not putting Duke Nukem on the list.
Yeah, that one.
But no, guys, you haven't played Blood. I tried. Trust me. Blood is harder than Duke Nukem. I could beat Duke Nukem. I cannot beat Blood.
Okay, so who's the Handsome Jack? Can we put Handsome Jack?
Ooh, yeah. No. Reese. Reese from Tales from the Borderlands. He's pretty awesome.
Let's toss both in.
Yeah, I suppose. Handsome Jack, my only problem with him is that he just kind of showed up out of nowhere for Borderlands 2, and then his backstory was explained in the worst Borderlands game. And he didn't really put up much. No, he put up a decent fight. That boss fight was pretty fun.
Borderlands is fun.
Yeah. It's more fun the more people you have playing with you. So maximum 4.
Yeah, the more people you have playing Borderlands with you, it allows for more comedic input.
Yep.
Because having 4 very deadly but incredibly stupid dumbasses behind a wheel, it's great.
Yeah, I actually beat Borderlands 2 and like 2/3 of the pre-sequel solo. And oh boy, that was unfortunate.
Let's see, which ones I have? I have Borderlands 1, 2, and the pre-sequel here in a box.
For Xbox 360?
Yep.
Yeah, I have it on Xbox One, unfortunately.
Oof. I want to get Borderlands 3. I heard it's like... It's okay.
I'm hesitant to support Gearbox at all. Because I don't like Randy Pitchford, and he's a piece of shit. And he takes his employees' bonus money for himself.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that guy. It's like I'd love to play Borderlands on the channel, but I won't because I have standards. Like it really says something when I won't play EA games and I won't play Gearbox games on the channel, but I'll fucking play Postal. Because say what you want, but no one can ever say that the 5-man team at Running with Scissors don't give a fuck about their game. You can't say that. You literally can't say that.
I mean, you're also willing to play Sonic Adventure.
Well, Sonic Adventure 2 is a fun game. Also, like, Sonic Team hasn't, like... See, Sonic Team is one of the few examples of loot boxes done right, because Sonic All-Star... Team Sonic Racing did loot boxes in the way I like, where it's just like... Or they were just like, yeah, we introduced loot boxes as progression just to encourage people to try out different characters, because every character has different stats, and you can't get repeat items, so eventually you will just get everything, and we're not going to do DLC because,
Wait, do you have to pay for these loot boxes?
Nope. in-game currency that you earn from like two races is enough to get another loot box, and I think online races it's like one race.
Here's the thing. I don't mind loot boxes
if they're
so
done
long
that
as
way.
it's with in-game currency.
Yeah, and that's what Team Sonic Racing did, and that's why I love that game.
If I have to chuck out $40 just to play a video game, EA, I'm not gonna do that shit.
Star Wars, Assassin's Creed,
like
Call of Duty.
Like if it were a matter of like, here, buy these skins we release every once in a while, I don't give a shit. Like
yeah, but like once it starts affecting, like you can buy loot boxes to get more upgrades and stuff, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah, because like I don't like if you're gonna be like, here, spend $10 on this like giant dildo of a character, like sure, why not? That seems like
what really pissed me off and what made me stop playing Crash Team Racing, even though I think I have that digitally, I think I could just re-download it at any time, is they added microtransactions to a game released in 2001.
Bruh.
Like I remember playing the game, and then I saw the character and like the customization shop, and I was like, this looks like Fortnite's shop. They're gonna patch microtransactions into this game. Oh fucking Christ.
Like I could not care less if a loot box was done with in-game currency, because I know that if I played that game for 15 hours, like I'm bound to get more shit than
yeah, like I said, Team Sonic Racing, when I saw that there was loot boxes in there, I went and I looked for a way to buy them with real money to give me a reason to go return the game, and there was no way. And then I looked up, and they're like, yeah, we just figured that it would be a good way to get players to try other characters other than like the one they start with.
Wait, is good question.
Yeah.
Was Crash Racing a like Nintendo game?
It's an old Sony game.
Okay.
It got released on the Nintendo Switch. That's where I own it.
I want to do the Sega does it with Nintendo.
Yeah. But no, yeah, like Team Sonic Racing did loot boxes very well. I think that loot boxes can be a great mechanic. Like it even bothers me that I'm gonna say this, but Assassin's Creed Origins did loot boxes really well, and that's about the only thing I think Assassin's Creed Origins did well. Like, was Assassin's Creed Origins fun? Yeah, until you realized, damn, I really have to grind in this game. But its loot boxes were good because you could buy a loot box and it would give you a weapon that is matched to your current level, but it won't necessarily be the same kind of weapon you're using. It encouraged you to experiment with all types of weapons. I think that's good.
I think the only game I ever liked grinding in was Diablo.
Yeah, but that's like the whole point of Diablo.
Yeah, I know, but like...
is you need that one last piece of equipment to make your build truly stupid.
Like, it's a thing where, like, I played Diablo for about 600 hours, got to, like, Nightmare, like, 10. I don't remember how far the Nightmare thing goes, but...
Never played Diablo.
What?
Never played Diablo.
Like, if you're gonna play Diablo, be ready to lose about 2 or 3 months of your life.
Yeah. Hey, man, like, don't forget, I have, like, 1.2k hours in Team Fortress 2. God, I miss the way that game used to be. Man, Team Fortress, like, I guess this is, like, we've completed our list of, like, the top, like, what, 12 badasses?
Something like that, yeah.
So, now, those guys, those are, like, the untouchable badasses. I guess we could throw the Postal Dude on there, just because,
his sheer insanity.
The sheer insanity of Postal, and the amount of shit you have the freedom to do because the game just says, yeah, go ahead. That's pretty legendary. The fact that Postal 2 got DLC 13 years after it came out.
Dude, fuck Postal 3.
Yeah, literally. What was it? I actually found out the only way to buy Postal 3 right now from Running with Scissors is you have to buy a $30 package that comes with Postal 1, Postal 2, Postal 2's expansions, Postal 3 the movie, and like a bunch of and like stickers, a rag, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. And they just like burn all of that shit onto one disc, and I'm like, how the fuck did you fit all that shit onto one disc? But it comes with a bunch of other stuff, and it's like yeah, it comes with a bunch of bad games we've made and one bad game we didn't make.
All
It's the
better than
only no, because Postal 3's on the disc. Because Running with Scissors didn't make Postal 3. A Russian development team that made a official Russian expansion to Postal 2 that we never got in America. They made it, and even in that expansion, you can see that, man, these motherfuckers did not know what Postal was about. Like, Postal 3 is a travesty, and I have nothing but respect for Running with Scissors for delisting it from their website. Like, they are like, listen, if you really want to buy Postal 3, the only way we will ever give it to you is if you buy it directly from us and get good games with it.
That's true respect right there, man.
Like, I respect them. Like, you can't buy Postal 3 by itself from them. You can't even buy it on Steam either. That's right, Postal 3 is so bad you can't even buy that shit on Steam. And if you've seen any Jim Sterling video, yeah, if you've seen Jim Sterling ever, then you know how bad Steam can get.
There was a Street Fighter copy that cost $200. That was one level.
oh God! No, was that the thing Critical played?
I think it was.
It wasn't even Street Fighter. It was Final Fight. It was the side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, like
Yeah, it was a Final Fight knockoff, and it was one level, and it was $200. It was like 2 screens, and it was it was like $200.
Yeah, like $100 per screen. Yeah.
Yeah, like holy shit. I wish I was brave enough to sell that shit for $200. But
and it works, and it clearly worked. Like you got the dude to buy the game.
well, no, Critical played it for about 5 minutes, and then refunded it. So
True,
yeah.
but it got him to buy it.
Yeah, but but what else? There's I don't like if I ever do merch for this channel, if we ever get to that point, you bet your sweet ass that we're gonna make that merch of like something that I'm proud of. Like, I'm gonna go over everything. I'm gonna check it, and if I say I wouldn't wear this, that shit's getting thrown out. We're not selling it.
Don't worry, I'll help him design it.
Yeah, like I can do graphic design. That's fine. It's drawing original characters is the hard part. Like, cause I can show you. Like, let me send you the stream layout I did. Cause like that I can do. That's the sort of stuff I can just do.
And I can't do that shit for shit.
Yeah, let me grab it. The layout for Postal 2. Like, that thumbnail was all... I did that. Like, here, look at this. I'm sending it to you right now. So, like, the overlay for the Postal 2 videos, I made that by myself. Like that, I can do this stuff. That was like 10 minutes. I did that, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. There's going to be a video game in the middle here.
What I'd do is change the orange to like a nice pale blue.
Well, the thing is, it's because Postal takes place in like a desert, and everything's all rusty and shit. Yeah, takes place in Arizona, so I took like a rusty brown color, because I felt it would fit better. And if you watch the videos on my YouTube channel, it doesn't look bad. And yes, I could have Postal 2 run in a, like, what's it called? A like 16:9 like a proper widescreen aspect ratio, but that appears to cause the game to crash more often. So I'm not doing that.
Okay, so our current list is
Oh, have you been
Doomslayer.
writing it down?
No, I've been
No,
memorizing.
okay.
Doomslayer, Master Chief, Dante, Kratos, Sonic, Mario, Dude from Blood,
Caleb.
Caleb. Okay, Caleb at
Yeah.
number 7. After him was Bayonetta.
Bayonetta, yep.
After Bayonetta was
Postal Dude.
Postal Guy.
Uh, so that's
Oh,
9.
Cloud Strife because of the dancing game.
Yeah, because Cloud Strife is. Cause let's be real, Cloud Strife has. Like, I think being the main character of a game as regarded as Final Fantasy VII is enough to make the list, honestly.
And I think his sword might be a little bit more iconic than he is.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Most definitely. The Buster Sword is more iconic than he is. It's not even his sword, by the way. Yeah, no, the Buster Sword is the sword of his dead best friend, who got it from another guy, who got it from another guy.
Okay, so we're removing Cloud and we're removing him with the Buster Sword.
Yeah. No, Cloud stays because he is the current wielder. He's also possibly the most well-known Final Fantasy character of all time. Like, except maybe Kefka.
Okay, so number 11 is Buster Sword.
The Buster Sword is its own slot.
It's its own slot.
Cloud Strife, you stay on the list, but your sword gets its own slot.
Actually, let's put the Buster Sword at 10 and Cloud at 11, just because the
Yeah.
Buster Sword is more iconic.
Yeah, it's I'd buy a keychain of the Buster Sword before I bought a keychain of Cloud. Yeah, and this comes from someone who loves Cloud's design, because it's just so good.
Simple, yet iconic.
Yeah, like the hair is the most complicated part, but it makes sense because it's an anime.
But I'd rather have the Buster Sword than...
Yeah, I'd rather have the Buster Sword than a copy of Cloud. Especially since every time Cloud is without the Buster Sword, he's kind of a whiny bitch. So.
Buster Sword, you're going up higher on the list.
Yep.
Good job.
Who else could we do? Let me look through my Steam library. See what we've got. Okay. Are we gonna count characters who are technically multimedia properties if they have video games?
I mean, we're going for general badasses.
Because Batman Arkham City is one of the best games ever made. Like, I'm not kidding. Possibly my favorite game ever. I don't know, do you think we should? Or is it too overdone?
Nah, like the games, like I've played some of the Arkham games. They're fun.
No,
you pretty much beat them.
No, Arkham City is hands down the best game in the franchise. Like, there's people who say, like, yeah, Arkham City is, it's perfection.
See, I would add it to the list.
Did we forget to put Akuma on this list?
Yes.
Did we put Scorpion and Sub-Zero, but not Akuma and Ryu?
Shit, what happens to the list?
Yeah.
Cloud, you're going down even lower.
Oh no, I don't. I think Cloud goes below Akuma but above Ryu. No.
Okay.
I mean, if we're going by iconicness, Ryu goes up with like Sonic and Mario. But if we're talking about just like honestly, with 40 years of gaming, the top whatever we end up listing is like placement doesn't matter.
True. Because most of the top 5, barring like Halo, they've been around for quite a long time.
Yeah, like with 40 years of history, top 20 doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
Because Sonic, he's been here. Mario,
yeah, Sonic and Mario we have to put here out of respect.
Like Doom guy, he's been here a while.
Yeah.
Master Chief, he came in a little later, but goddamn it, he has been around
But
for nearly 20 years.
God damn it, he put in that business.
Like he's got enough big dick energy to
Listen,
go right there with the legends.
the phrase "they built a monument to my sins" is enough is enough to earn you a spot on any top 10 badasses list, even if you don't technically qualify.
Like, God.
Top 10 badasses that have been introduced in the last 3 years. Number 1, Master Chief. Why? Because they built a monument to my sins is such a raw power line.
From the flood, right?
Yeah, it's I'm a monument to all your sins.
Yeah. Doesn't Cortana say that too at one point?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think they and then the what is it at the end of Halo 3? It's I can't believe that Chief is really dead, and then Arbiter's like, if only it were so easy. He's just like, Arbiter looks up into space. That motherfucker's not dead.
Crash lands from space, and then just gets up. Like,
dude, you know what I want for Halo Infinite? I want Arby and the Chief back. I want to have fucking Arbiter and Chief back in action together. That is the one thing I want in Halo Infinite, because the sheer chemistry that those two played off of each other was astonishingly good. For characters that had literally never shared a single line of dialogue up until the beginning of Halo 3, they worked so well together.
Another iconic quote. Sir, I'm giving them back their bomb.
What are you doing, Chief? I'm giving them back their bomb.
I'm giving them back.
Do you know that guy, the voice of Master Chief, he does voice work for a local radio station by me.
I did know that.
Yeah, I think I might have told you.
No, I saw it on YouTube.
Yeah, he does it for like a local radio station. It's pretty great. I get to listen to the Chief announce radio, so it's pretty great.
Honestly, Master Chief has so many iconic lines.
Yeah, like honestly, Master Chief doesn't say much, but when he does, everyone turns and listens and is like, "Motherfucker, did you just read like a million poetry books like last night? What?"
Master Chief, what are you doing? Sir, I'm finishing this fight.
I'm finishing this fight. God, yeah, Master Chief deserves to be on there just like in sheer power alone.
And he's not even the best Spartan.
He's not. He's one of the worst. Like that's my favorite thing. It's like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Spartan, you must be the best if you're the last one." And he's like, "Well, what you got?" He's not the best Spartan. He's just he's ungodly lucky. Like, "Oh, see, that grenade throw wasn't that good, but the enemies ran into it, so I guess I did all right." But you see, that grenade throw, it was bad, but like no one saw it, and then they all walked into it, so I guess I did all right.
Should we add Miss Metroid Samus Aran herself? Wait, do we add her?
We did not add her, but I don't want to fill this with all Nintendo characters like you said.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we should chill out on like
Nintendo has a lot of good characters, but they're also like a giant.
Like I say, if we're gonna put Samus on here, we drop Mario. Because I guess Samus is like more of a badass than Mario.
Yeah, but Mario's like one of those. Legends.
Well, no, because if we're going by badass, we need to define it as being like, if we're just going as badass, Mario is like, he's like low grade. He's like the generic store brand. Like, oh, he's kind of cool. Whereas Samus is like, I have destroyed entire solar systems.
Well, I mean, isn't that what Sonic's whole marketing campaign was in the beginning?
Pretty much.
Like
Sonic is like, I think the thing that pushes Sonic to a badass level for me is the fact that despite the fact he has shit games, when Sonic levels are good, they're great. They are some of the best. Sonic Generations is fucking full of it.
So here's the thing, like even the worst Sonic games have like a very large cult community.
Yeah,
Like there's an entire community where they're just fixing '06.
yeah.
Like
There's several projects of that actually.
yeah, like yeah, give Sonic's had a lot of shit games. I agree with, but like there's
When
something.
Sonic is good, it's
Bringing it.
great.
Yeah, like
Because
people.
like just the feeling of speed. If they can get the feeling of speed and the vastness of the world ahead of you just right,
That
then
feels great. It feels great.
it's better than Mario. It just is. Like
Like
Mario
Mario,
has
yeah,
like all the
it's
technical crazy like super awesome like stuff, but Sonic is just pure simple fun if done right. Like the day
yeah.
stages in Unleashed are the best example of like that is Sonic at its best. And like basically every level in Mania is
My brother played Mania nearly nonstop for like since the day it came out. And only recently that he kind of stopped.
yeah, no, the game's that good.
Yeah, it is that good. It deserves all the praise. Yeah, sure. It's just a lot of it. A good amount of it's like rehashed Sonic,
Yeah, but
like
like
Sonic
there's
1, 2, but like
some things get repeated because they are right and they are good.
because they are done right, they are done good. So why not
Like
have it?
yeah, like as much as I'm getting tired of seeing Green Hill in every game,
It's
it,
been done right.
it's you associate that with Sonic. And like I agree that it's been overdone,
It's
but
also one of the most
it
iconic like
yeah, it
songs
is
of gaming history.
yeah, no, like listen, you can't this is going to turn into ranting about Sonic, but I don't think that any like the Sonic games, say what you want about the Sonic franchise's gameplay and the bad games and all that. There's a timeline out there where the Sonic music is bad and the games are good, and the series died 10 years ago.
You know how we were saying that one of the games was held together by duct tape?
Sonic 06 is an absolute unmitigated disaster.
And
But
even
god
then, like,
damn it if Dreams of an Absolution isn't a
is not a
fucking
banger.
banger.
Listen,
Even Zebrahead's version of his world is amazing.
I like there's some songs, like some Sonic songs, where I think they're meh, okay. Because
I you know what I
I
really hate?
can't. Hmm.
They stopped using I Am for Shadow's theme, and then they just started using All Hail Shadow for everything. Even though I Am is a far better song.
Have you heard "Who I Am"? The song?
I know what I'm made of.
Well, "Who I Am" was supposed to be the song. The was supposed to be Shadow's theme at the end, but there were some complications with the song, and that song I will say trumps both of those songs you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Dude,
Um. Oh, dude, Sonic Riders, dude, with that punk aesthetic for its like the punk, like the techno punk
yeah,
thing, for its music. Oh, dude, I still fucking Jets theme. What was it called? Um,
Ungravita or not?
no, that was for Sonic Free Rider or Sonic Zero
Yeah,
Gravity.
Zero.
Even Sonic Free Riders had good music.
Yeah.
Free is so good. It is so much better than it has any right to be. It's like it's this really weird thing where the worse the Sonic game, the better the music. So
Oh,
in the
six,
games
for
that
example.
don't work at all, you get absolute bangers for the soundtrack.
Like,
Oh, Catch
here's
Me If You
one, for
Can.
example.
Catch Me If You Can. That's Jet's song.
There we go.
That song's
But
amazing. And part of it is just rapping names of his tricks in game. And it's still good.
my favorite song from the entire Sonic, like everything, would probably have to be "With Me."
Ooh, With Me is pretty great. I'm going to
Yeah.
ask someone else, but all right, I'm asking one of my friends what the best Sonic song is.
You're hard pressed to answer that. Like, doesn't matter which era of Sonic. Like, even the classic games had some bangers to them.
Yeah, Green Hill. Casino Night or is it Casino Night Zone? Do 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 do.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh god, so good. Like the Sonic series, like again, I will gladly accept as a Sonic fan all criticism for the entire, like, yeah, sure, you can say Shadow the Hedgehog's bad. I personally think it's the best of the Shadow trilogy, like in terms of just gameplay wise. I think it plays the best. Out of Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Heroes, and Shadow the Hedgehog, I think Shadow the Hedgehog plays best. Oh, here we go. We're getting an answer. Because I guarantee you, they'll probably bring up a song that we didn't mention.
And we're gonna agree with them, probably.
And we're going to agree, yeah, that one's a banger. Unless they bring up, like, No More Gods.
I have never heard of that song.
It's a bad one. It's one of the, like, 80 songs they show. Mephiles' Whisper.
Ooh, that is a horror theme.
Yeah, Mephiles' Whisper 2. Yep. Also, pretty much any song from Shadow the Hedgehog. Yep, alright.
Yeah.
Shadow the Hedgehog had a pretty great track.
Did you know the Shadow the Hedgehog speed run took 50 fucking hours to do?
Yeah, because you have to do
Because-
10 different. You have to play through the game 11 times or 10 times, and then you have to do the final
there-
story.
There is.
Or do they do?
roughly-
Did they do a 100% speed run where they got
100% speed
Oh
run.
yeah, no. There's 384 paths. 300 and something. I don't know.
I wish they had that kind of depth. Oh, but like.
Yeah, like not all of
Yeah,
those.
Sure, Shadow.
Not all of those combinations
has
of
a
missions
gun.
make any real sense, but every timeline generally fits together. I think it would have been better if it was just one timeline that was like had a stronger narrative as opposed to just cookie cutter pieces that kind of fit together.
I mean, in the end, you're gonna be You're gonna be in a cutscene that goes, "This is who I am."
Yeah. Shadow the Hedgehog I think plays better. Is it way too try hard and way too edgy? Yes, but I think it plays better than any of the other Sonic games of that era. Because especially considering immediately after that we enter Sonic 06. So
Yeah, but Sonic 06 had some things going for it. Like,
there's a really infuriating thing. There was a patched version of Sonic 06 for the 360 that never got released.
bruh.
Yeah. The demo for Sonic 06 for the 360 was a fully patched version of the first level for Sonic. And it had proper physics, it flowed really well, and the homing attack worked like it did in like the Sonic Adventure games. And then they just unpatched it for the release because Sega said, "Wait a minute, this game needs to be better on PlayStation than on Xbox." Which, if you know anything about the PlayStation 3, developing for that bastard early on was fucking horrendous. Because Sony decided to split the processing power into like 4 processors.
And the thing is, like, even 06, 14 years later, still has a fan base that's pretty big.
Yeah, and its graphics aren't bad. Like,
If it-
looking back
what-
at 06, the graphics are not bad.
Like, the cinematics still hold up too.
Yeah, the cinematics were animated by Square Enix though, so
Yeah. But this was in 06.
yeah, so did you not see what Final Fantasy VII Advent Children looked like?
Buddy, I've never played a single Final Fantasy game.
Final
nor had
Fantasy VII
experience.
Advent Children was not a game, sir. It was a movie. And yeah, it looked just like the Sonic 06 cutscenes. Because believe it or not, Toy Story had come out by that point. But
we're gonna go back into another Toy Story rant like we did last time.
God, no.
Uh,
But yeah, dude, like you can say whatever you want about the entire. Actually, I'll just straight up say it. Conda, thank you for the contribution to the stream with your answer. About the best song. God, we could stop this right now and start a whole podcast just on the best songs in the Sonic franchise.
I don't want to be here for another 2 hours.
Yeah. But yeah, like the Sonic
list goes on.
Yeah, I'm down to keep talking about this for another 15 minutes. But yeah, like even Sonic Forces had like
they had some pretty good bangers. Like
dude,
even ignoring Infinite's theme. Fist Bump, like,
no, Battle Against Infinite 1 is really really good, where it's just like that eerie keyboard beat. Like it's just the yeah, it's just that. That's really really good because it actually follows a different tune and a different beat.
And even if Infinite's like the actual Infinite's theme is really fucking like cutthroat edgy, like it's a bop. Like it's
it's good. It's very good.
Like it's try hard, but in that way we all like.
Yeah.
And you can't forget Dreams of an Absolution.
Dreams of an Absolution is so good it got a re-release.
Which is also still fucking good.
Yeah. It got a re-release by the artist, unprompted by Sega. The artist just redid the song because he was like, "Damn, this song was a bop."
Like,
it's like
you made a good song.
It's like Initial D, where regardless of if Initial D is a good anime or not, its soundtrack is one of the best. Cause the top, gas, 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 running in the '90s, Deja Vu.
Love Forever Young.
Yeah, like I Am a Perfect Hero.
I haven't heard that one.
That one's really good. That one's pretty great. I'll have to send that one to you. Like, yeah, Initial D, regardless of if it... I don't want to watch Initial D because I'm afraid that the soundtrack will be better than the anime. I'm gonna eventually watch it, but, like... It's like, people always say, oh, like, the Sonic games have good music. Everyone says that. Well, yeah, because it's fucking true. Like, are you gonna go and try and tell me that, like, Doom doesn't have good music? Like, come on. Oh, also,
you are a god, and we salute you.
Yeah, also, I learned that Mick Gordon also did all the music for Killer Instinct. The fighting game that came out in, like, 2014. And I'll send you a video later. I'll send you Cinder's theme, and you'll like the moment that song starts, you'll be like, "Oh, yep, makes sense." Like I literally couldn't shake the feeling. I was like, "Man, Cinder's theme just sounds Doom-y." And then like I was looking through it, like Mick Gordon's Wikipedia page, and then it's just like, "Oh, it was like, oh, Mick Gordon composed for Killer Instinct. And I was like, oh, that's why.
You know, now I want to hear what it would sound like if Infinite's theme done by Mick.
Infinite's theme done by Mick Gordon would have killed Sonic the moment he spawned in.
Infinite, it's you!
Flesh blasted off of his bones.
Bones, don't you remember? They have no bones.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Infinite, I've come to stop you. You stop me.
he uses the Phantom Ruby to create a hologram of Mick Gordon. And then Mick Gordon turns around and slaps him in the face, calls him a bitch, and shreds. That's exactly how that would go. Can we talk about how the fact Infinite is like the coolest villain that Sonic Team has come up with in a long time, and we're never gonna fucking see him again?
Like,
we're gonna see Zavok till the end of fucking time, but we'll never see Infinite again. And if we see Infinite again, he's gonna be a jobber. He's gonna be Infinite's taking orders from this guy, so that guy has to be way more powerful. We're never gonna fucking see Infinite again.
Yeah. Like, his design is also really fucking cool.
He's such a cool character. And we're never gonna fucking see him again.
And his voice actor was pretty good too.
Yeah. And I'm just like, God damn it, it's just like Chaos. It's just like Chaos. We're never gonna fucking see him again.
Mephiles was a good villain too. Like,
we're never gonna see him again.
Yeah, we're never gonna see him. No.
It just Black burns Doom. Well, Black Doom got murdered. That's different.
Like, yeah. Thank you, Shadow.
That's different. Shadow murdered that villain.
You removed an enemy from time.
Also, I didn't really like Black Doom because his voice was just darkness.
Wait. It was the best comparison was that Black Doom sounded exactly like Kurama from Naruto.
Jesus.
Shadow.
Yeah, there it is. That's it.
Like, if you'd gotten a guy who sounded like a king to voice Black Doom, would have been infinitely better. Because I can send Shadow, do this for me, rather than Naruto, bring me the Dragon Balls. I'm Shadow Hedgehog. Naruto.
Shadow, have you played Persona 5? I can't get rank 10 confidant. Shadow, if you played Persona 5, I can't get rank 10 confidants with the fucking lollies. Please help.
Shadow, you fucking weeb. Stop watching Kill Kill.
Jesus. Oh man. But yeah, like that's one thing where I'd love to see Chaos show up again, but I know he never will, and if he does, he's gonna be a jobber. I'd be okay.
Whoa, he's stronger than Chaos.
Whoa, he's stronger than Chaos. That was like a big deal on my 10th birthday.
Like, if an enemy right after Adventure 2 was all like, he's stronger than Chaos, and like, okay, cool. But like,
remember when they took away the Super Emeralds because they didn't want power creep, and then by Sonic Generation, Sonic can kill Perfect Chaos without the Chaos Emeralds?
You see, but like, at least that kind of made sense. Like,
Perfect Chaos
older, I've gotten stronger.
Yeah, Perfect Chaos was kind of huff. He kind of was like big ass weak spot. He was just the egg golem but made of water.
I feel
but like it bothers me. Like, Sonic has all of these great characters that we see once and never again, and Shadow and Silver are the exception.
Like, even then, we all know they're gonna butcher their characters.
It's actually really funny. I think Silver has gotten a better character with each game he's in. Every time Silver is in a game, his character gets progressively better and less annoying. As Sega realizes, oh wait, telekinesis is like really, really strong. The dude was fighting Infinite for like 12 minutes on his own.
For the 8 people who are watching, just know that if you have telekinesis, you basically win at the superpowered game of life.
Yeah, like, it's pretty stupid, the amount of things that, like, in the Sonic comics, there's a really good thing where he just starts fighting literal, like, embodiments of Chaos God. Like, oh, you can't overpower me? Nah, but I can keep turning you around. And, like, I can throw your shit back at you. Eventually, you'll get tired. I can do this all day. I just have to think.
Okay, so, for everyone who has never read the Archie comics, and the only characterizations you get is the IDW, just know that shit will never be as crazy as it was in the of the Archie comics. Because, let me tell you, like, for all the dumb shit that's popped up for the Archie comics, there's
like Knuckles defeating Perfect Chaos.
I'll give him that.
That's a bad one.
I'm not touching Knuckles.
Yeah, no. Let's not even talk about Echidnas.
Yeah, no.
That was Ken Penders. God, what an asshole.
Like, Sonic was literally chucked across the universe.
What, didn't that?
slammed him.
Yeah, didn't that happen more than once?
Yeah, it's happened more than once.
No, the second time it was Tails' uncle, Merlin. He got, or no, was it Tails' parents who also got chucked across the universe, and Sonic found them on like another planet?
This. Thank you for iterating my point. That shit that will not be as
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, that's because Sega is exerting more control over the IDW comics than they did over Archie.
Yeah.
And by the time Sega realized that the Archie comics were getting out of hand, it was far too late for them.
Like, okay, I've read about half the Archie comics because they're
I'm
available
sorry.
online free. I am
Sorry.
too.
The Archie comics didn't get good until they brought Ian Flynn on. Oh God.
I mean, I even had fun with like early Archie comics, but some of you could tell
Like when Sonic tells you to plug in your Sega Genesis and play Sonic 1 for 5 levels.
Yep.
That's a real thing in like issue 4. Guys, if you want to see what what the rest of Casino Night Zone looks like, plug in your Sega Genesis and get me to level like 8 or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm just like, don't you fucking patronize me.
Let's not even talk about the Sonic multiverse.
Oh God, Buff Boy Tales. the most cursed thing to come out of the fucking Night of 1,000 Tales. God, no, there was worse.
There's been worse.
Buff Boy Tales is pretty high up there. Night of 1,000 Tales, Buff Tales.
He's just buff because you can tell they were getting that from like Dragon.
Yeah. Do you remember the time that the Archie comics for Sonic just crossed over with Spawn?
What hasn't Sonic's crossed over with?
No, there's like a legit, I think it's canon to Spawn as well. that actually happened. So it's just like on a Halloween one time, like the Freedom Fighters just ended up in Spawn's territory. And it was just like, oh, I think I've seen those characters in video games before. What characters? Y'all are trying my patience, and I have guns. I have a lot of guns. Just y'all need to move.
Dear Sega, we do not need to add more characters. You have already gotten plenty enough. Please stop throwing them through the trash can.
Please stop making cool villains using them once and deleting them. Because, God, we're going to get Zavik until the end of time. But
what do people like about Zavik?
I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him.
Listen, whoever decided that adding bright-ass blue to his design...
If it wasn't for that, he'd be so much better. And if he had a personality...
I am Zavik. I am evil.
I am big, strong brute. Yes.
Wow.
Cubot and Orbot would be a more fun boss fight.
And you know what? Orbot and Cubot together, we both know would be one of those top 10 Sonic battles if done right.
It'd be pretty great.
You
know what? For all the faults that the Sonic series, that Sonic Boom had, that cartoon was funny as shit. That cartoon was really funny. Because there was just randomly Knuckles just randomly started telling Amy off about how like how fucked up her feminist views were. It was like, what? It was like, Amy, every time you reference the glass ceiling, it implies that you're the exception as opposed to what could be the norm, and everyone just stops and looks at him like, what?
Just because I'm an idiot doesn't mean I'm not a feminist.
No, he says, just because I'm a meathead doesn't mean I can't be a feminist. And like, I love Tails, just like, has a look on his face of questioning reality. Just,
Let's be real. That was a good cartoon.
It was a pretty good cartoon. Made a lot of Knuckles fans angry, but listen, it was funny as shit.
Somehow, Sonic being slightly taller with a scarf.
I didn't mind the designs. What did bother me was the way they butchered a lot of the character. Like Sonic was still Sonic, Amy was actually better. And
To the
then
point where
Tails and Knuckles have been on a downward spiral for a long time.
I agree on that.
Like,
But like,
I still say Sonic Generations is what murdered the character of everyone in that franchise who isn't Sonic. Because ever since then, none of them have been useful. Not a single one. Tails spends all of Sonic Colors being fucking useless. He spends Sonic Forces crying.
Sega, if you're gonna include characters, include them right. Otherwise,
Just give us a Sonic Adventure game where we can play as all the characters, please.
Like, if my thoughts on Sonic is that
Just bring back
if you're
Knack
gonna
the. Just bring back Fang the sniper and have him voiced by Justin Roiland doing Rick's voice. Just do that. Just do that. It'll be great. Trust me. Just make Fang an alcoholic. I think that's the best joke I'm gonna tell all day. And I played basketball with a terrorist's head in Postal 2 this morning. So that's fun.
So Shadow, what was your favorite experience in life? Being dead.
Damn it. God, I like it really is frustrating. Like there's such a huge cast for the Sonic games and then you get to play as like 3 of them tops.
You get to play as 2 of them tops.
Yeah.
You get to play as either Sonic, Dark Sonic, Shadow, and nowadays you're probably gonna get.
Well, that's not even true because Shadow being playable in Sonic Forces as DLC is the first time he's been playable since 06. In a mainline Sonic game, Shadow has not been playable since Sonic 06 up until Sonic Forces. And that just burns my soul. That that he's in so many games and he never does shit.
You know, how good do you think a game would be if you could play as literally anybody else but Sonic? Like,
let's have a game where Sega, hear me out. Here's my pitch. Give us a game where we can play as the rest of the group working to help Sonic.
That was supposed to be Sonic Forces.
Yeah, give us Sonic Forces, but let us play as everyone else and save the day while Sonic's in jail, and then we free Sonic. He's like, wow, you guys didn't need me. And then he dies. And then we never get another bad Sonic game because there's no more Sonic games.
Like, if we were to get a game, if we to play as anybody else but Sonic, I would probably have a lot more fun playing that than I would probably
If you're gonna make us play only as Sonic, at least give us Sonic Unleashed's level design back. Please. Please, we're in the postmodern Sonic era. Just figure out the boost formula. You had it in Unleashed, just stick to it. God damn it. You had it in Unleashed in Generations. You had it. You had it down. You knew what you were doing, and then you fucked it up.
Did you know that Sonic and the Secret Rings was the first boost game?
But Sonic and the Secret Rings was bad.
I had fun, but yeah, I agree.
It was pretty trash. It was trash game, but it was a fun trash game.
Let's know.
Oh boy.
You hear that at every turn of the game.
Yeah, the Sonic Storybook series was kind of neat. It's a shame they got rid of it after 2 games.
Was supposed to be an ancient. I wanted to see how they would bring in Zeus, EG-13.
It would be Eggman in a toga. Oh, the fan art would have been glorious.
No. Please don't put Eggman in Zeus' spot. What's everything?
Yeah. And then Hera would be Amy.
Stop right there, you heathen. Stop.
No, Hera would have been Elise. Bring that character back into canon real quick. Wait, she never left because Sonic 06 is canon. Because Sonic Generations confirms it is because you go back to Crisis City.
It was never non-canon. Like,
Yeah, no, it writes itself out of canon at the end. It's like
no, right.
it writes the events of the story out of canon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not the
Like
fact that
every
it occurred, but the fact that the fact that any of the characters met up at that point in time, that got retconned out by the end of the game. It's really funny because it makes me feel like they knew that this game was gonna suck mad dick. And they were just like, so at the end of the game, we're just gonna retcon it out. Oh god.
I'm pretty sure a game you can have a game with each Sonic character individually, like main Sonic characters, and I'm pretty sure they would all sell millions. Like, get a game of
Well, that's
Tails.
not true because Tails, Eggman, and Knuckles once all got their own game, and they sold poorly. Except Eggman's game, that one sold pretty well.
I meant nowadays, because people will be like, "Finally, a Sonic game that's not about Sonic. Let's go do it."
We'll see. They tried that in 2005. and we all know how that happened.
Yeah, but nowadays we have standards.
No, we
Higher
don't.
standards.
Did you not play Sonic Forces? Sonic Forces was a disaster. Sure, it functioned. Sure, you didn't fall out of the map, but on Classic Sonic's first level, you have to be frame perfect to get an S rank because one of the springs doesn't fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't think they ever fixed it either. It didn't matter. I S ranked every fucking mission in that game.
it's not that hard. You just hold boost.
Yeah, but you would not believe how hard it was to S rank a couple of those missions. Because Classic Sonic's levels, sometimes shit just no work.
Why did they bring back classic?
Please stop that. Yeah, please.
If you're gonna make classic Sonic games, keep them classic Sonic.
Yeah, it's giving the series an identity crisis. Because, like, it was cool in Generations. It didn't have to come back for Forces.
Okay, so
Especially since Classic Sonic got his whole fucking own game earlier that year.
like, if you were to allude to it, like, sure, just allude to it. Hey, remember when we were like with our past selves? Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, there you go.
Remember when
that's
you
all
were
the classic
fat?
Sonic I care about.
Hey, Tails, remember when you were a useful character?
Remember when you were fat?
Hey, Tails, remember when you weren't a damsel in distress?
Like, alluding to other Sonic games. Sure, go ahead, do it. Fine. It add more life to the Sonic games.
God, it
Back to
is
it.
so infuriating to me. How, like,
Listen,
we've had
the
these
fact that
characters, we know these characters are competent, and they all get thrown to the wayside for Blue Hedgehog with red shoes. Haha, Sonic go vroom vroom. Seiko, we want to play as the other characters. Haha, Hedgehog go
Sonic go
vroom vroom.
got Google Fast.
Fucking Christ. Well, I suppose an hour and 38 minutes is where we're gonna cut it. Jesus Christ, we turned half of this into ranting about Sonic.
Makes sense. It's us.
Yeah. What were you gonna say though?
Want to like just make this 2 hours flat?
No.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna be uploading this tomorrow as is. I'm gonna try and get a video out every day this week. We could come back and do another one tomorrow maybe. But you have to.
We can talk about. Then we can talk about Sonic music. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right. I'll leave you to it. All right. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow, I suppose.
Perhaps, mayhaps, we'll see.
All right. Later.
Later.